Well, here's a typical scene. See, like my scaffolding was on the other side of that container, and there's nowhere to park, so which is like typical when you come late during the day. And that's very small order, so just see the 2 frames and then 2 5x5 frames and 2 10-foot long decks and 1 brace there in the middle there. It's like a double pipe. And I'm just taking a quick break and I'm watching this guy over here. So this massive concrete pumping truck, a rolling mix is the name of the company. And this guy in a straight truck showed up and he backed to it, and as you can see, I don't know if you can see, but hold on, let me, oh yeah, I can zoom in. So he's pouring concrete into that box in the back of the big truck. Right? But so yeah, so this is my kind of life right now, right? my punishment for selling the truck. You know, I often think about this. All these trials and tribulations started when I sold the truck and I got out of trucking. Not that I made good money over there. I mentioned this many times before. You know, after all expenses, it was pretty much like minimum wage, you know. But at least I was able to come up with some interesting content, right, for you guys, for YouTube. So now I got my views are again going down because, you know, everybody has a pickup truck, right? Everybody has probably most people heard of scaffolding. And you know, looking at this house, you see this? That's what they use. Like, I remember my first impressions, you know, like it's all plywood. You see this? So my first impressions when I came to Canada, and same US as well, right? How they built houses. Like, I never saw this because in Russia they use, you know, real stuff like bricks, stones, or in the old days they used wood. They use like lumber, right? So they just kind of like, you know, trees cleared up of bark, you know. But here, when I first came and I saw that they're using pretty much plywood for the walls and then some boards, and of course then they put drywall, and you see over here, that's all those sheets over there, and that's it. And then they want people to pay $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, right? And you know, but just to show you, like, this is every corner of Calgary looks like this, you know. There's construction everywhere, which means that it should be easy to find a job in construction, right? Like I was trying to find like a wheel load operator or I don't know, skid steer, or even a rock truck, right? I was a driver. Why I cannot get a job as a rock truck? So I kept applying, but all I could find was this, a rental delivery driver for a pickup truck and 5-ton truck. So, but at least, like, people are saying I just wasted a lot of money because it was what, like 6,300 Canadian dollars for that course for the wheel loader. But I got it back because I did work for 2 months. I made a lot of money. So I got back. Without that course, I wouldn't have been able to get the job, you know. So I did get the money back, so I didn't lose anything. So anyway, time to head back, and then have lunch at 12 o'clock. Oh, a couple of interesting loads today. I delivered this ditch witch. it looks like a barrow with 2 wheels and an engine, and the rear just sits on the ground, kind of like a mini plow, you know. And you start the engine and you adjust the RPM, and this thing will just go by itself. And they gave me 2, which was a challenge to, you know, to load them because they're so heavy in the pickup truck. And I had some scaffolding as well, so I did like three drops, you know, on my first trip. And then when I came back to the yard, the dispatcher gives me some big bolts, you know, basically pins. And he says the second plow was missing these pins. They need them to attach the blade. I'm like, holy moly. I did not check, and the guys in the shop did not check, so I had to go back. It's like 14 kilometers, you know, like 8 miles, and drop off those bolts. And I said, guys, I'm sorry. I said, nobody noticed that they were missing. So, but at least the dispatcher said, well, it's not your fault. I said, I'm sorry, I did not notice that. He says, well, the shop should have been, guys in the shop should have noticed that. But, and so this is my only second trip. Yeah, so I went to Central Calgary, drop off those missing pins, and then I came back here to Northwest, pick up this scaffolding. I see the guy is done. So that bin is pretty much full of concrete, and this guy is moving away to his next victim. Well, I just brought a nice John Deere skid steer, tracked, but smaller one, like 317 I think the model is, much smaller than the one I operated. So this is a brand, and right up front, check this out. You guys remember this? Man, how many of these suckers I moved before? These screening machines. And what is this? This is a Kleeman. Actually, the other day somebody was asking me for a quote, and you see, like, this one is fully open, and then when it's in transport mode, it's much smaller, but still, it's a massive machine. Probably, I don't know, 100,000 pounds, 120,000 pounds. And then here, that's where they have. That's kind of like the same. See those skid steers? Kind of like the same skid steer I brought. And then check this out. Wow. Dual steer axle. K-Whopper. A rock truck's over there. See, that's why I cannot operate this, right? This is like child's play for me to operate this rock truck, and you can make actually good money. And you see, these guys also sell trailers, like double drop trailers with nice huge outriggers with all 3 axles. Wow. Oh, check out this one. That one has those rubber kind of like flares on the top. Oh, and you see, by the way, that's the typical Western Canada kind of like Alberta thing, where they have this ramp in the back. Of course, I don't like them because it takes the space, so the deck is very short. So the deck is probably 24 feet maximum, you know, because you have to move the wheels, right? And that's why for me, as a when I was a highway hauler, for me it was not useful. But for local guys that have to do like a bunch of pickups and drops, you know, this is a time saver. And also here, another big difference is that here people don't care about height, because 14 is legal and there's no bridges. You can go like 16, 17, no problem. And that's why this trailer is like, I would never buy something like this, because the top deck is almost as tall as the tires. This is just ridiculous. But again, you see it has the ramp, right? So you can load something, but imagine the angle. Like, I saw one guy unloading a big excavator like this on a trailer like this. It's like 60-degree angle. It's crazy. I think it's dangerous, but they all do it over here. And this is just a tandem, so it's like a probably 35 ton, but has massive, I don't know if it's only has 2. Oh wait, It's not a 35 ton. It has wheels inside. Man, do you see that? So it has 8 wheels on each axle. So it's probably a 55 or 60 ton trailer, you know? Like that would be nice. Because this is basically, you have like 4 axles. You know, that's how they, in Alberta, what they do to avoid, because you cannot have 4 axles here, right? They don't allow them. If you need 4 axles, you have to get a booster. And that's how you avoid that. You just have 8 wheels on the axle, you know? And this is, and I could tell right away that it's not a 35 ton after, like, first I was confused, but you see that? Oh, wow. Man, this is a super nice trailer. Something like this I would love to have, you know? But you can tell that it's not a 35 ton. Look, but how many cylinders it has? It has 3 cylinders, right? A typical 55 ton has only 2 cylinders, because that's all it needs to lift this, you know. But this means that I'm guessing it's a 60 ton, and also has a couple of, I'm guessing those are compartments for chains. But in the middle it has wood. Right on my trailer, the middle was open, right? But again, why is it so tall? And the brand is Painless. I think it's made in BC, I think. And check out those hookups for chains. Those are interesting. And has some lights that you can flip out, and the flip box. Yeah, so that's why it has a flip box. So it's a super nice trailer. All right, I gotta back out of here because there's a heap of dirt. All right, and last for today, I'm gonna show you another machine that I used to haul a lot. Yeah, so a very unusual trailer. Now you see that one? That monster pipe layer, right? So that's how they work. But of course, when you haul them for transport, they remove the mast, and they remove the counterweight. Okay, hold on. How do I? Oh, yeah, I see this in the center of the screen now. That's the counterweight. And so they remove all that, the cables and this mast. But yeah, super useful machine, because you can use it for many things, not just laying gas pipe or oil pipe or something, but for wrecks. I remember I delivered one of these to a company that was specializing in railroad disaster cleanup. And I asked him, I said, you know, you're a railway company, why do you need the pipe layer? And they said, we are lifting railway cars or railroad cars, you know. So pretty handy machine. This is an 850L 850L John Deere. They're very heavy, at least 100,000 pounds. So anyway, well, let's get back to work, but my day is almost over. What's the time now? Oh, 3 o'clock. All right, 1 more hour and I'll probably go home. Well, after I delivered that bobcat, skid steer, they asked me if I wanted to go home or if I want to do another run, which was like half an hour one way. And I look at my cell phone, it was only like 10 after 3, and I'm supposed to work until 4. So I could have gone home, but then I would lose
turn left,
like $20. And so now they send me west of Calgary. Look at this beauty. Hold on 1 second. Ah, I see video. Oh, you can increase it. Okay. So the mountains are so beautiful today. You know, the sky and the clouds. So that, of course, that's west. So now we're going back towards Calgary. So this is east.
Continue on Township Road 245 for 3 kilometers.
Sorry, you gotta close windows. So field on the left, field on the right, residential area, some rich people live here. The speed limit is 70 kilometers an hour. Of course, the sky, I don't know, on the phone, the sky looks really blue, but it's not blue. Actually, today is way better because yesterday and the day before, Weather Canada advised that the air quality was very bad. Turns out there's a bunch of fires happening now in British Columbia, and they're so bad that I even heard about these BC fires on CNN. They were saying that Midwest USA has poor air quality because of British Columbia fires, which are like 2,000 miles away, you know. And so of course we are much closer here, and so the air was affected, and you could see it was like smog, you know, like not smoke, but really like the sky was all kind of like silver, you know. You could not see this blue color. And so today everything is better.
In 600 meters, turn left onto Range Road 31.
And very nice weather today. It started, I think, at +8 Celsius. Now it's +18. You know, not too hot, not too cold, perfect. It's about, I'm guessing...
Turn left onto Range Road 31, then continue straight onto Old Banff Coach Road.
I'm guessing it's about 70 F. Alright, so I'm going that way. Basically back to Trans-Canada 1. And then I'm taking Trans-Canada back to Ring Road 201, and that one will take me...
Continue straight onto Old Banff Coach Road, Secondary Ontario 563, then use the right lane to take the ramp to Calgary.
Here, the speed limit is 110 kilometers per hour.
Use the right lane to take the ramp to Calgary.
But once you reach the ring road, I don't know why, same road.
Continue for 800 meters.
Even more lanes, but the speed limit is 100. So 62 miles per hour. And I was just driving in the right lane, and I had my cruise control set up at 105. And there was a cop in the left lane.
Meters, merge onto Trans-Canada Highway, Alberta 1 East.
Yeah, there was a cop in the left lane, and he was slowly gaining on me, so I kicked the brake pedal to cancel the cruise control. So he didn't say anything, just passed me because my speed started going down. And there's
in 3 kilometers, take the exit toward Alberta 201 East.
Yeah, what they have here, they have these crazy basically speed cameras, and they are mounted inside SUV, which looks like a cop SUV, except it's black and it says drive safe. And at first I had no idea what these are, and then somebody told me that because I saw actually once I was passing them, I thought it was some kind of a volunteer, you know, service where they help maybe motorists that are stranded or something, you know, where your car died or something. And then I look inside once I was passing one, and there's a cop, like there was a woman inside in a police uniform, and I could see she had all kinds of equipment on her dash, you know, like a computer, bunch of cameras, you know, like a radar. And then somebody told me that actually these guys, they will give you, you'll get a ticket in the mail. But what's funny is that in Alberta, by law, you only have to have the plate on the rear, license plate. And so these guys, like the only way they can give you a ticket is if you pass them, right? Like they're parked on the shoulder.
In 600 meters, take the exit toward Alberta 201 East.
And then you pass them and they can take a picture of your license plate, right? Otherwise, how can they give you a ticket? They cannot read your VIN on your windshield, right? So, but I see them all the time.
Take the exit toward Alberta 201 East.
I see them all the time. Oh, you see? Now she parked because it's 80 kilometers an hour zone. That's that vehicle
1 kilometer.
on the left. It says drive safe. Drive safe. And that's how they get you. Usually they like sitting somewhere like here that now there's 60 kilometers an hour. And you know, if somebody was speeding before, like let's say somebody was doing 90, right? And usually people don't pay attention to signs, and then all of a
In
sudden
500 meters, use the left 2 lanes to take the ramp to Alberta 201 East.
and then all of a sudden it's 60, but they were doing 90, right? So 90 is okay in a 80 kilometer zone, but in a 60, that's a guaranteed ticket, you know?
Use the left 2 lanes to take the ramp to Alberta 201 East.
And that's where they like to sit. Either where the speed limit changes, or
Continue on Alberta 201 East for 19 kilometers.
or in a construction zone. Like here on the Deerfoot Trail, Highway 2, there's a couple of big construction zones, and the speed limit is 80 kilometers an hour, 50 miles per hour. And they always park there on the shoulder. And again, they can only give you a ticket if you pass them, right? So that they can see they can take a picture of your license plate. And here, I'm on the ramp to 201 to the ring road, and the speed limit is 60. You know? So if I was a cop, I would be sitting somewhere here. But I'm guessing they have better things to do. Okay, and then finally over there, it's 100 kilometers an hour. So that's it. The day is gone. So my GPS says ETA to base is 4:23, or as they say in the army, 16:23. So 23 minutes past 4. So I'm getting 23 minutes. 23 minutes. Overtime pay. And tomorrow finally is the payday. I was really looking forward to this day for the past week. Yeah, I really don't like it that they pay. I would really prefer to be paid weekly, but in Canada it's quite typical that they pay you bi-weekly every 2 weeks, and it's a long gap between paydays, you know, especially when you're not making $50 an hour. So it's like a drop in the bucket. But the last good news is that I started second week of March, so second week of June it'll be 3 months, and so they should give me extra $1 per hour. That means that I'm gonna be making extra, I don't know, $10 a day, roughly, right? So probably extra $100 in 2 weeks. So, which is not much, but it's something. So anyway, sorry for the long video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.